Dungeons and Shenanigans. I am going to be the DM for the night. These are our lovely players. We have Allison back! Woo! And we have Abby back! Woo! And we have Eli.
Yeah.
Hey.
We got him. And we got Eli
We got
leaving!
Eli. Oh my gosh, Eli leaving! Woo!
Alright.
That's his time, folks. Alright. Thank you guys for watching and joining us. We're going to pick back up where we last left off. Still in the Underdark. Right after most of us have forged some spirit metal.
So is she going before Lucky? Time-wise? She was last. Okay.
She was not downstairs with you guys.
Oh, okay.
No, she was getting her beauty sleep
Yes.
the whole time. Yeah.
Definitely needs the beauty sleep.
Oh, yeah.
We'll take out the sleep.
Oh! Not even 3 seconds for being back and you got burned. How did it feel? Did you miss Abby in here?
Well, you're going to be in the forge. You're going to get burned regardless. So.
What does the forge look like?
Yeah, can you describe the forge again?
So.
If you don't know what the forge looks like, listen to that.
Where we last left off, you guys had met up with Magnus, each individually within his underground chambers that led to the different halls. Led over to the forge area where each of you forged your own spirit metal creations, finding an ingot that called out to you. You each forged this ingot. You forged the tools first in order to even forge the ingots themselves. Once you forged both, the ritual was complete, and the metal took on this new sort of gleam to it, very similar to the original ingot coloration, but now has this very fine gleam to it, almost like a little more reflective. You made a whistle out of a raven's skull made out of this spirit metal.
Yep.
You etched it and imbued it into your antlers. You did a very similar thing by imbuing it into your tusks.
Antlers bleed.
Antlers do bleed.
I know that now.
Lucky, good old Lucky, went ahead and, what did you do? You got tattoos, right?
Tramp stamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You ended up getting the symbol of the bear with, was it a bear?
It was a bear.
Yeah, you got the bear with the antler horns that kind of curled underneath a little bit into this like semicircle that around you, onto your back as your spirit metal creation. And then Vela, you got horn adornments that started out in with the center right here being this reflective surface, almost like a mirror-like eye. And after you guys had finished your forging, you guys all started to head upstairs, out of his chambers, and you were about to start testing more of your equipment. And that's where we left off.
Well, me and him already did. And we both failed.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we just failed sadly. Right.
Yeah, you guys are in the spa right now.
Crying. But you're in the sweat room, so it doesn't really, you're just kind of like,
Yeah.
it's just steam.
Yeah.
It's just.
What was that?
No,
Yeah.
no. I don't think Cal cries like that.
Whoa.
No,
No.
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 Yes.
No.
Yes.
It's good to be back.
No.
So, as you are moving away,
To know.
to know, who was waiting behind with Lucky? Were you waiting behind Bella?
Yeah, I think we went. Did we go to bed?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys ended up going to bed after that.
Okay.
And in the morning, each of you,
We all had the dreams too.
and you had your dreams as well, each of you individually. And
Oh no.
and in the morning,
Except for Daisy over here.
little knocking on each of your doors waits for you all to eventually come to the door. I'm assuming everybody does.
Yeah.
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 Everybody but you,
Yeah.
actually.
Rude.
He goes ahead and knocks at everyone's doors and just peers their head in. Magnus and the king wish to speak to you. And you see it is Arcturus speaking out to you guys.
Is this the same thing as before? Or he tells everyone out loud what they want.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Now he's talking to me first.
Hello, Susie. The king and Magnus have requested your attendance in the hall.
Right now?
Post haste.
Cool.
Has he gotten my door yet?
No, we're not doing this for every person.
Daw.
So you walk into the shop, and you see in the forge.
Yeah, so what does the forge look like?
Yeah.
Hold on,
It's a
hold
basement
on.
cavern.
Hold on.
2 magma falls.
Okay. Hold on.
A circular chamber.
You're taking out the sacrosity of it, okay?
You did that
In the
yourself.
center.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I like to tell you guys information.
It's the same information. Nothing new is being given.
So the forge is the
No,
new ceremony.
no.
Lucky.
No.
So, Arcturus, for you, is the head servant, the head butler within this castle. And then this is the castle of the king, I have to look at my notes real quick, Kelevandrus Mestara the First. And then Kella is his son, the one you've been traveling with, Kella the Third.
There's no second, it's just 1 and 3.
That's how the names work.
Yeah, that is how names work.
So,
The butler's name again?
Arcturus Eblar. And then Magnus Torkel is the one who's the forge master. So each of you end up arriving within your room, or out of your rooms. I assume you are all adorned in your spirit metal. Well, most of you have no choice.
No, I took mine off for the day.
Okay. The other ones who really have a
Yeah.
choice in the spirit metal being on them is Susie and Vela.
Hey, let's go.
Lucky's pretty sore by now, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, lucky right
Yeah.
now you're sleeping on your stomach. You just like screamed out in your pillow to confirm your attendance.
Yeah.
Your back is terrible right now.
Joe just said
Um,
Aquaphor doesn't exist.
The nuclear reactors of spirit.
Yeah.
Do you want to make Aquaphor? Let's roleplay Aquaphor.
You know what? I'm going to invent Aquaphor and Saran Wrap.
Do it.
Just to spite you.
Do it.
I am.
Good.
What do you want me to do? Pull some out of my pocket right now?
Do it.
Wow!
Whoa!
Aquaphor? Wow! Come here, Lucky! Come here. This will make you feel better?
It's just mud.
Rub some dirt in it. It's not an open wound or anything.
Oh, that would hurt so bad.
It's a sensory issue thing with my back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Can I get that sound again?
Nope. You can replay the sound.
Never getting
Go ahead and hit the back arrow key a few times. Just
Yeah.
The most replayed thing.
Yeah. Little stars. Most replayed.
This is not what I want to be known for.
You like 2 new people in the Discord because of it.
Abby, gif it.
Abby, don't.
I
So.
can't.
Gif it. My bad. Gif it. Gif peanut butter it. Jiffy Lube.
So we're at the king.
So you guys end up entering the hall of the king. Lucky, of course, is the last to arrive. I assume you don't have your vest on right now.
No,
Okay.
just his vestige.
So you don't have really anything above your waist on right now, just because your back is so like red and sore.
No, please, you come in like Kylo Ren.
Yeah. The waistband up to here.
The high-waisted pants, just the turn.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, basically.
Wide steps down the hallway.
And Lucky normally has like the very pale complexion with kind of like the veins kind of peeking through a little bit, but you just see his back is just red. Just writhing in red pain. And you see the very, very large black tattoo on his back now.
Is that
Now you have 2 tattoos.
is that your spirit metal, Lucky?
No, it was for fun, Susie.
Listen, I know you're in pain, but you don't gotta be salty
That
about
was
it.
fun. That was way too fun.
Susie's the salty one.
Susie, make a perception check.
That is 17.
Good.
You
It's
notice
there.
the small red specks within the patterning of the actual tattoo.
Interesting. And I'm not gonna ask you about it, because you're being mean. I'm just gonna have a mental note.
Mentally noted.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like your sister.
My sister's real.
Prove it. Right now.
She's missing.
It's like how pink isn't your favorite
So is my
color.
pet
You
unit.
can understand.
Does Tanner want to die today?
He absolutely does.
Yeah. Fair.
Wait, Tanner or Lucky?
Both, actually.
Yes.
I'm coming for you both.
Yeah. Yes.
Tucky.
Tucky.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Kentucky. That's Tanner's new name.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
He's finger looking good.
No.
So, you guys enter into the King's Hall. Yes, exactly, Kylo.
Did you pull it up?
It's
No.
not Lucky's face on it.
I love it.
See, I know you're doing something when you're quiet for too long.
Which is 2 minutes.
And that is a long time. So, you guys are in the King's Hall now. And it is a breakfast table that is set up. Nobody has started eating except for the king. He has already started his breakfast. Looks like he was served just minutes before you guys were. But as you sit down, a servant does come around, drow with a little platter, takes off the lid, just leaves it there for you as each of you choose your seats. Sitting down in the seats, you see Calor, and then 2 others that you've never seen before. It looks like Kella and Amanda are not present currently. But there is Calor, the 4th child, and 2 others that you do not recognize sitting there as well. One of them looks a bit younger, and then one of them looks figurely older. But as you guys sit down, the only other person there you see is Magnus as well, sitting next to the king, mainly talking to him. It looks like there is food in front of him, but he's just not touching it. He's just talking. And as you guys enter in, you see he's like kind of squinted eyes with his crow's feet just peeking through, just looks over at you all. How did you sleep?
Great.
Yeah.
How's the back? Points at Lucky.
Very sore.
Oh, it'll be that way for a few weeks. Make sure not to get cut there, eh?
Yeah.
Please, sit. There's a stool there for you. And you look over and there is a stool with no backrest.
Very thoughtful.
It's
All of the other ones are like very elegant designs. This one's just like a wooden stool. Just, it looks like it was probably from the stables maybe. Looks like it has like a tiny bit of like hay like still attached to it. But it's functional.
Hey.
It's your
Food.
breakfast.
The chair is their breakfast.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah.
3-legged stool.
Yeah.
Love it.
So, as you guys are all sitting there eating breakfast, the king kind of dabs his lips. I hear you all finished your creations. Would you mind showing me? Sure.
Yeah, why don't you go first, Cal? Yeah.
Here's mine.
I like the work.
Thank you.
Painful?
Yes.
I would imagine so.
I was awake through all of it.
He just looks over at Magnus. He said he was proud. He was a warrior. All right.
It wasn't
And then
that.
I assume the tusks.
The tusks in their splendor.
I like the inlaid design in them. It looks quite nice. And for you, was it the pendant?
Yeah, I got a whistle.
Well, all right then. And then looks over at Vela. In the adornments, is that your piece?
And the necklace.
Yes. Very nice, very nice. And
Thank you.
I assume your back also. I would imagine so.
Yeah.
My condolences. That'll heal up and it'll look really great. But wow, it'll hurt for a while. Spirit metal tattoos often move and end up creating effects when you activate Aether through them. So be prepared for that. And I believe that there is one other in your group who has yet to forge.
Yeah, you're correct.
she was sick from the Underdark sickness. She needed to sleep more.
Mm-hmm.
Understood. We'll go ahead and have Arcturus take a look and make sure she is in tip-top shape before she starts her forge. Well, enjoy breakfast. Anything you'd like to ask me? And he just starts kind of going to breakfast some more.
Yes. We are told there's areas to train with this spirit metal.
Yes, there are. We do have training exercises with other Aether practitioners that will actually be able to help you cultivate and teach a little. Amanda was extremely self-taught. She had one master who ended up dying, and that was her biological father. Taught her the very bare bones basics, and the rest she learned and created on her own. But yes, this is true. We do have training grounds, so if you'd like, I can go ahead and lead you all to there momentarily once breakfast is done.
Sounds good.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Well, how did you all sleep? Did any of you dream?
No.
Insight
Absolutely.
check.
Make a deception check.
No, I really don't dream that much. Not that I recall, 12.
12.
I have a negative 1.
He just smiles and kind of nods his head.
I don't really dream.
Can I insight check to see if he knows that we're supposed to have some weird dreams?
Sure, give him an insight check.
He definitely.
I am going to, because I didn't like the dream. It sucked. Aw. 14.
You use a psionic die, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I should. 21.
21.
Woo!
This man is generally hard to read. You're kind of like peeking through the layers just a little bit. He does look like the question was worded very like poignantly, to the point where it was almost as though he was kind of like saying it as like kind of humorously, like of course you had a dream,
Yeah.
and kind of like
You're
asked.
like, nope.
It was like, of course you had a
Never
dream,
dreamed
and
a day
kind
of
of
my
asking
life.
more, just kind of like, how was it?
Never heard of it.
So it seems as though he kind of expected you all to have some sort of dream or vision.
Interesting.
Yes, I had a dream.
Did you now?
Yeah.
Would you mind telling?
I was able to confront something that I haven't been able to confront before
That is
because
good.
of this.
Good. Your spirit metal is starting to take hold then. That's good.
Yes, but I won't be able to use it for probably longer than a couple weeks.
It will take some time. Manifesting your aether and channeling it through the spirit metal takes time. Your metal itself has to bond to you, even if it's not physically attached to you via the horns or the antlers or even a tattoo, the metal does have to bond with you over time. The more aether you pour into it in a steady flow, the more it'll start to become more attuned to you and you specifically. If you pour in too much, however, the metal could become ravenous and start to take a little more than it should. And that can sometimes leave you a little exhausted.
So, how do you know if you've done too much?
Start off slow, very small amounts. You can push yourselves a little, but you'll start to feel a strain and resistance within yourselves. Everyone is going to have a different resistance or strain within themselves. And it's up to you to figure that out for yourselves. Bless
That
you.
was out of game.
I think I felt that strain when forging, choosing the ingots. And didn't go well for me.
If you empower spirit metal that has yet to be forged, quite often it can be volatile.
Oh, we wouldn't know
Speaking
anything
of,
about that.
and he looks
Yeah.
over at Magnus.
Who would do that
He
even,
says, speaking of,
actually?
and he looks at Magnus, and Magnus is just staring you down.
Oh, he knows. Mama J told him.
More like Kel and Amanda told.
Well, I didn't think they were snitches.
I am a curious creature. I may have gone a little too far experimenting.
Haven't we all?
Yes.
Well, what were the rest of your dreams about? Yours was of confronting someone or something that you haven't for a long time.
Well, I have confronted him before, but I was able to stand on equal ground. this
That was
time.
good. And you?
I told you I don't normally dream.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
And
And she, when she does dream, she wakes up punching people. So.
I do sleep
It hurts.
punch.
It-
I sleep punch a lot. No dreams, only fight.
Only if I-
Dislocated my shoulder through a bed frame.
that takes skill. I would have assumed that from Lucky, but that takes some skill.
You know, yeah, I'm just
Not even
better
a
than
strength
lucky, you know.
I mean, I see no weapon really on you either, so.
Yeah. You wouldn't.
Anyway, Bella, what was your dream about?
No.
Sorry?
No.
All right. Those
All
dreams,
right.
those dreams can happen. And that is normal. Some are good in terms of confronting fears or things that you need to.
No.
Others are of the fears confronting you.
Mm. I got unwillfully initiated into a cult.
That is, huh?
Nothing
You know,
like
if that
that.
happened in your dream, I don't think it's actually real. You know, your dreams aren't real.
The tattoo's fake, Susie.
I'm sorry, the what?
The tattoo's fake.
You got those from your dream. Do you sleepwalk? Did you get those while you were sleepwalking?
I don't think I would have paid for a tattoo while I was sleepwalking.
Listen, I don't know, man. People do weird things when they're sleepwalking.
We don't
This
really have a
happened in
tattoo
front of
artist
you
here.
when we went to the Aether Water.
Poor Magnus.
Oh,
Anyways,
Tattoo artist.
yeah. It's just shame. Just put him to shame right now. We don't have a tattoo artist. Lucky with a full tattoo from Magnus.
Well, Vela, that's kind of creepy, but it seems to suit you. Things like this have happened to you before, have they not?
I can confidently say I have not been initiated into a cult by dream,
Well, this
or in person, ever.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
I mean, a lot of people don't recognize that they're in a cult immediately, you know?
I
There's
think
that
I
time in that
recognized
creepy
it because I
forest.
don't want it. I didn't want to be in it in the first place.
Was it the 22?
Yeah.
The 22.
Is that out loud or is that through your guys' necklace head thingy?
That- Oh, you think Lucky's smart enough to use that? No,
He
that was,
hasn't figured it out
it was
yet.
I
close.
mean,
was
I
close.
wasn't sure. Yeah, he's like thinking really hard while speaking.
The king just goes, the 22. What is that?
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Would you continue to describe them, please? I don't.
Just angrily shows
I,
wrist.
I unfortunately do not know what this means.
I'm the Oracle now. I don't know what it means either, but I'm mad about it.
All right. Aether dreams can be weird.
Well, this was happening to her even before all this, the spirit metal. It happened a few times on the trip down.
It did?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with this 22 you speak of, but that does.
Me neither.
That seems troublesome.
It is.
I mean, we can have our scryers look upon you and see if they can find anything.
Well, actually,
Yes.
yeah, let's try that.
All right. We can go ahead and arrange that. Would you be free
That's all.
today for that?
What?
Would you be free today for that?
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Lucky, what was your dream about?
I saw an old friend and was entrusted with a gift.
A gift?
Yeah.
Would you mind sharing with what that gift is?
I can try. I ended up seeing cinders again.
Whom?
When we were in the Shadowfell, we came across the warrior there, and he was a fire aether user who kind of helped us out and was the one who gave us the dagger, the knife.
Oh, yes, I heard of that.
Yeah, I saw him and he entrusted his aether to me.
You forged the dagger within your spirit metal.
Yeah.
Interesting. That doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it can lead to exponential new growth. So you believe you have the fire attribute now?
I don't know.
Judging
That's what it
from your
seems like.
aura, I don't quite see much embers quite yet. It must be a budding new ability, but soon you won't be able to really contain it around yourself unless you learn to contain it. I mean, your other auras, I definitely see air and light peeking through. But the embers of fire, I'm not quite seeing enough to constitute a element yet, but that could just be a thing over time. Things of this are only spoken of in history books, of old ancient spirits giving their power away to someone else, entrusting their power. It's a rare occurrence.
Are there ways to get other aether elements aside from a spirit giving it to you like that in history? Is this...
There are other ways. There are more malicious ways. We've been hearing reports of human experimentation within some of the nations, specifically Etheria, which is directly on the harvesting and consumption of aether and the elemental bindings that are controlled by it. But there are other ways. Spirits that inhabit part of you or you make bargains with can allow you to use their element. And then there's other very rare cases where an ancient spirit will give you their very essence, which appears to be what has happened to Lucky. And those ones are very rare cases. Everyone really has the potential to grow and produce more, but it is extremely rare that others will be able to just develop other elements as well within them. It is possible, but rare. For me, and you see he just holds out his hand, and in his hand you see a little flare of ember, and then you see water droplets start to appear in his hand, and you see just like sand-like formation that turns to rock and then to crystal, and then in the other one you see this like little zephyr tornado in the center of it, and then in the very center you see this riling ball of darkness as he just holds his hand out and it just creates all of these elements within his palm before closing it. The four elements, the four primary elements, fire, wind, water, and earth, are my own. I made a pact with a spirit who allows me to use their dark aether. Learning aether and its uses is possible to use other elements, but is very difficult and takes long, rigorous training to develop it naturally. There are times, too, where natural talent does not appear, and no matter how hard you work, you'll never achieve it.
Kill him!
But in your cases, it seems, your aether souls were awakened forcefully, and that might be why you are all developing it at such an exponential rate.
It wasn't really forcefully.
Well, it
You
was
were
a
in the middle
forceful
of a
impact.
I
destructive
give no
blast.
consent.
Yeah. Do you think we had regular aether potential before the explosion and that sped it up? Or did we just not have this at all before the explosion?
I can't say for certain. There are some who cannot develop aether, no matter how hard they work or try. And then there's others who just will be born with it and already manifest it upon birth. And there's some who develop it later in life. It's all dependent on the user themselves.
So that generator, if none of us were meant to have aether, that's extremely powerful and very dangerous.
Indeed. I don't know what its true intended purpose is. Aether itself is a very powerful source of energy. There were, in ancient times, spoken of through legend and history, there were generators of sorts, not of what you've seen. Generators in which people would imbue their energy into spirit metal, and the spirit metal would hold the charge of energy.
Like kids.
Oh, yeah.
And within those charges of energy, they would be able to be dispersed into various means. People could imbue a piece of a rock or a small piece of spirit metal and imbue it with flame element. And when they needed it, they can create a spark and a fire where they needed it. Those were very smaller scale processes for a type of storage for aether. But this generator you speak of would use a great deal of spirit metal. A significant amount, really. The shard that you have produced, and you see he snaps his fingers and then just appearing on the table, you see a bundled up little piece of cloth that you recognize is Lucky's bandana.
I don't like that he has it immediately. I don't like that he has it.
And he ends up.
I know.
Take it. You see, he like moves his hand, and little gusts of wind just open it up, and you see the shard within it of that corner piece of the cube. This shard is very unnatural. It is made of spirit metal, as I confirmed with Magnus. It is made of a very, very tough composite of spirit metal. It is mixing spirit metal with some other unknown element, unknown metal. We can't quite figure it out, because to forge this and to reshape it would probably cause the devastation of Flame Reach as a whole. It holds way too much power. Frightful power, evil power, power that is at the cost of lives. But if this is what's going on up there, I have concerns that our problems above and below might be the same soon enough.
As far as we know, there was only one generator being made, and the person who made it didn't expect it to blow up like this.
So most likely he's not making backups.
No.
That's good news.
I mean, it's reasonable to say you still know how to do it, but it was.
He survived the blast.
Unfortunately.
And what was this gentleman's name?
Simon C2.
Oh, I
Yep.
didn't know if we wanted to say it or not, but I guess we want to say it. Okay.
He's the worst.
Simon
He is the
C2.
worst. Yeah.
I'll look into that name.
Yes.
You'll see to that later. Ah,
Yes,
Oh.
I will.
He's pretty famous, so
yeah.
it
He was
shouldn't
gonna
be
hear it
hard.
eventually.
Yeah. It was a big unveiling at a convention. To my knowledge, there was potential for weaponizing this creation.
And a creation really of aether in such a way with spirit metal from Etheria most likely is a weapon. I ventured up there when I was a young lad, back when my father was king, and it was a very dark place. The spirits themselves felt like they were almost hiding away, out of fear almost. I'm not a spirit caller like Mama J from down below, or down above really, further. I'm not quite as a caller of spirits as she is, but even for me, I felt a disarming or alarming the low amount of spirits. They were not as abundant as down here, or even within other lands. It's almost as if they're hiding.
Well, I don't think any of us really could feel spirits before, so we can't
Never even heard of them.
tell you if there was more or less.
Well, anything else?
Where would we go to find a teacher?
Teachers can help you only to a certain amount. I do have people who can teach. They'll actually be in a similar area by the Scryers. We can take you all there. The Scryers right now are working on a special assignment by me. But as soon as they are done with that assignment for the day, we can go ahead and have them look into Vela, and the trainers themselves can also start to work with you. Does that sound alright?
Yeah, but first, on these dreams that we've almost
Yes.
all have apparently had, do these fade after a while? Do we continue to have them?
It depends. if you have somebody calling out your aether specifically, somebody or something, a force, they might continue for some time. If you make a bargain or a deal with a spirit, oftentimes that is where the spirit will be awake and start to converse with you through unconscious states.
So in my night vision, I saw someone I know to be deceased, or at least I believed to be deceased. Would that indicate that they're not, or am I seeing beyond the veil?
Could be both. Your dreams of Aether are well connected to all realms of possibility. Aether is something that is old and ancient, but still quite alien to us all. It has different interpretations of meanings to everyone, but there are certain truths, and those truths contradict each other. As if this wasn't originally intended for mortals. It's a strange ability.
Indeed.
But I believe breakfast is over.
I grab a couple extra rolls.
Yeah. Yeah, breakfast is over.
Breakfast is over?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was talking too much.
For brunch.
Yeah, what's over there?
Yeah, you're like, yeah, breakfast is over, your giant trunk.
Yeah, roll side hand.
Roll sleight of trunk?
Yes. With advantage.
Yeah, it's trunk.
Yeah, 16.
16? You get some rolls. Everybody sees you, but you get some rolls.
Everybody sees you.
As you're sniffing. Rolls. It's like a magnet just...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, your trunk doesn't go all the way. You just kind of like breathe in
Just
real
back
fast and
in.
it comes to you.
You don't have nostrils, it's just all one hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, just...
Like Kirby.
Well, it used to be pierced and then aired down.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you had a septum piercing?
Ooh. It was in your rebellious phase.
Yeah.
Back in my teen years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was when you're like, oh, man, have you tried these new mushrooms, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, that's when you got
This
into
was the magic.
shrooms. It's all
Yeah.
coming together.
It's all magic.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, and then you became a druid. Rest is history.
Yep.
Yeah.
Magnus gets up from the table and just starts
I
to
lived
walk
in
out.
Berkeley for a while.
Yeah. Magnus leaves the chamber before the rest of you do.
I don't think that guy likes me much.
I'm gonna
I don't
follow
think he likes
after.
any of us very much.
Okay. You see the other guests that are at the table as well. Kalor has just been keeping his head down. The oldest has been looking very intently within the conversation, just kind of looking at each of you as you speak, and the king as well. And the youngest of those guests is just kind of just looking at each of you guys like in awe almost of these outsiders.
How young would you say is this youngest? Are we sitting with like a toddler or like
Sitting
what?
In terms of elf
Yeah.
years, he's still in adolescence.
Okay, so like middle school, high school, like you gotta give me
About middle school.
middle school. Okay, got it. So he's going through his rebellious phase. Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. Oh yeah, just about. Yeah.
Not everyone was Eutera.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Not everyone wanted a Harley Quinn hair, okay? Like
So I drop him a little mushroom as I walk by.
You didn't have to bring that up.
what do you mean?
What do you? Wait, it's not the colors right now. Just because
Reverse
it's split
Harley
dyed.
Quinn.
It's no. We don't have to keep talking about me. What were you saying? What were you?
No, I leave him a mushroom as we walk by.
Okay, you give him a mushroom, he goes,
It's one of the flesh ones.
what kind of mushroom were you trying to give him?
Just a regular mushroom.
Okay, he's like-
It's truffle.
It's a truffle. great. Yeah, high quality truffle.
You just horked it down.
Yeah. Do you have any more like that one?
I do. I give him another one.
This one's a little more bland, but I like the flavor. What more can you do?
I can grow these at will.
Can you make me a garden outside?
Hold out your hand.
Oh, no, come here. I'll show you my garden.
Oh.
And he starts to like run out. And as he's running out, you just hear the king just chuckle and just smile as he watches him run out. Calistar! And he turns around. Yeah, Dad? Please mind your manners and please forgive his indulgence.
Anyone interested in my craft is my attention.
I appreciate it.
He didn't get away.
Please, have fun. He goes, okay, Dad, and just starts to run down the halls. And he is running. He's running and then like realizes you're not behind him and then turns around, stops, and kind of like walks beside you for a little bit, talks with you, and then gets excited again and then starts running off, and then it just keeps doing that back and forth.
Nice. And I just walk at a leisurely pace.
Okay.
Teach him some.
But you have like really big steps though, so he's probably like kind of jogging.
Yeah.
And as you guys move out to the garden, you are following Magnus.
Yeah. Did I catch up?
Yeah.
Okay. When I find a trainer, do you have anyone in specific that would work?
You ask Magnus?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know any of the trainers?
I can do my own stuff. Why do I need trainer?
Okay. With what we talked about,
He's looking up like this at you.
I'm looking down.
Yeah.
You have like chin all the way to your chest. Hey, do you have a trainer in mind for me?
Magnus is like this.
Yeah.
I have no trainer in mind. That is up for the king's discretion.
Okay.
I appreciate you putting in the work, though. And he like taps the side of your knee.
Thank you.
Now go. And he just turns around and starts walking. Where are you headed?
Now go to the king.
Okay.
Yeah.
He said he would find you guys later for.
Oh, okay.
Later in the day for like the to find a trainer as well as the scryers.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I'll bask in the darkness outside.
Rose. What is
Abram is so unprofessional.
I didn't even comprehend what was happening. I was just like, why are we pausing? why are we pausing?
I'm sorry. This is my turn now?
I was
That
speaking with
name.
animals. It was a rat.
Yeah.
That name, please don't sue us. They're like Gandalf, just. So just.
I was watching a YouTube on how to play D&D.
Oh, yeah.
Rose.
How to play druid.
She's like definitely like laying across the bed, like sleep mask on. She's like,
May I enter?
yes.
He ends up opening the door, and you're in like your nightgown robes, but you're just like disheveled, and you don't even really care at this point. Oh, my apologies.
You're fine.
Magnus has requested you meet him down in the downstairs chambers to start your forge process.
Okay. She's like getting up, like, yes, that.
As you take off the
I
face
want
mask,
that.
wipe away the drool a little bit. Take the little hairs out of your mouth.
It's the like 80s movie like hair flip and everything's perfect
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Suddenly,
I mean, your armor
suddenly you have
definitely.
makeup.
Yeah. Yeah, your necklace as you just like glamour.
Just,
I'll tell him you're ready post haste. Closes the door.
She's gonna take the glamour off and like actually get
Yeah.
ready.
You're like, I'm ready. Closes the door. Your gut sticks out again.
Yeah. She ate a lot.
Yeah, it was a good meal.
It was a food coma, yeah.
You end up getting ready, and then as you leave, there is a drow maid waiting outside of your door. And as you open the door, she just kind of gives you a low bow. I am to lead you to the chambers.
Thank you.
And she, right this way, starts to walk. And walks you down this spiral staircase into this underground chamber that has this big stone table. And there's these stone chairs that have these like weird rune-like lines through them, recesses into them, and Magnus is sitting in one of them. And it looks like the actual lines within it are all creating this glowing effect behind him, and it looks like behind him is like at the very top of the chair, and these are very tall chairs. Even for Cal, it would be a tall chair. And at the very center of it, it looks like there's a circle, and in his circle, it looks like a sun is like radiating, almost like an eclipse. And he's just waiting for you. And it looks like he's like messing with like a little piece of metal, just spinning it on the table.
Oh, he has a fidget spinner.
And as he's spinning it on the table, he looks up and just stops that, and just puts it into like one of his little side pouches. Are you ready for your forge?
Yes.
Do you have an idea in mind already?
I'm in need of a new guitar.
We'll work on it. Gets up and starts to walk, and leads you down this long hallway chamber. As you're walking down through this chamber, you see that there are adjoining hallways that lead off and branch off from this main hallway. And in yours, you see what looks like there is just on the rugs a scattering of all kinds of different rings all across the rugs that run down the hallway. Hundreds of rings, all glinting and kind of like shining within here. And at the very end, you just see a puddle of blood just peeking out from the darkness of the hall. And you look back and take a double take. It's all gone. Magnus is just continuing to walk. Okay. So, as you continue following him, leads you into this very wide open chamber.
Yeah, we've never been here before. Wow.
There is a very large, a black stone staircase that ascends to this plateau.
Is that word in?
There is a radial circle at the very top of this with two lava falls falling down on either side of it.
It's like he's reading a script.
Does someone click next on the teleprompter? Stop.
Oh my god, keep going.
As you continue to watch and look, you're walking up this large staircase, and then at the very top, shut up. At the very top of this, kind of coming out of the wall, is this very large rail-like system that seems to have a lava flow through it, and then a very precise dropper, what looks like from it. And then it's standing directly over this very, very large black anvil. Off to the side is a workbench with a bunch of papers, and next to that is another bench that has a bunch of stacked ingots already available there. And then off to the other side, you see there's just a bunch of like these tools and implements all throughout. Looks like there's a little bit of like just random tools there. Some of them look like they are more for very, very fine crafting. Some of it looks like extremely large forge hammers, bigger than what you would even think could be used for forging. It's a weird smattering of different types of things there. And he just continues to walk over to the forge. So, what do you need?
Well, I play the guitar, and at the very least, I need a new string.
Just one string.
Well,
I can make you some strings.
Okay.
Is that all?
Can you offer more?
Of course. What do you think you are? And he's like looking around.
He describes the whole place.
You are on the central dais with 2 lava flows.
2 lava volcanoes.
Yeah. They're like waterfalls, but with magma.
And they are fiery and hot.
Yeah, a wave of heat, it hits you when you enter the area.
So long as you know.
I just wasn't sure how much metal you wanted to spare.
That will take maybe a quarter of an ingot. What you need.
So a whole guitar then?
How big are you looking?
Guitar size.
You know.
I'm for proportional to me. Need to be able to hold it.
Do you want it extremely crafted, or do you want it to look nice, or do you want it to be top of the line?
I'd like it to look nice, I suppose. But I'd like it to look like if anyone got close enough to it, they would die.
Are you proficient in any weapons?
Yes, the guitar.
The guitar.
The guitar.
The guitar.
Bring. Not a guitar.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we're bringing back the shanktar.
Yes.
Oh yeah, 1 power chord and you're dead.
Yep. Just start playing through the Fire and the Flames.
Sorry, I was thinking School Rock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we need the power stance.
Speaking of which, what's that one instrument he played on that one show?
Saxophone?
Yes.
No.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Give Bowser a saxophone.
I mean, I do have weapons, yes.
What do you use for weapon?
Swords. And these. I have my talons out.
We could coat those with spirit metal as well.
A built-in pig.
I like the way you think.
Good. And built-in pick.
Oh,
Great idea, Jonah.
Thank you.
Wow. Who would have come up with that?
Me, the DM.
Yeah. Yeah, only the DM, actually.
I'm just as crooked.
What?
Are you his conscience?
Yeah.
I knew it this whole time.
Jiminy cow.
Jiminy
Is that why I started bullying people that time?
It's all coming
Stop
together.
moving hangers.
that's it, Eli. You're out of the campaign.
Yeah.
Go eat your Rice Krispie treat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go to
but
the corner at the
then-
mini fridge with your Rice Krispie
Yeah.
treats.
But yeah, we can't afford to lose you, so you just have to yell everything that Cal does
I'm
from
really
off
thankful for
camera.
that.
Yeah.
I
Could
gotta
you
do
go
it.
ahead and puppeteer Cal for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
And it's okay. Some of us will
Yeah,
visit
just-
you.
Yeah.
Some of
Yeah.
us will visit you.
It's
Yeah.
okay,
Because we
Eli.
can.
Yeah, I had a line.
We
so
appreciate
I was
you.
probably way more famous than everyone else there.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Anyways,
Anyway.
back to the game.
Not us
Bridges
still being
here.
salty at something that happened 4 years ago.
No. We all have a job to do.
It
Job
was.
to do.
It was.
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Wow.
Almost 5.
I like how most of our viewers are people
You
that
know
know
what
us.
was almost 4 years ago? In 11 days.
No,
4 years
we're
ago.
not bringing that up either. No.
Okay. We have a job to do. Sorry, job to do. So, as we are going to continue forging. Thank you. Thank you.
That's a different thing we're gonna talk about later.
Goes ahead and grabs a few ingots off of one of the tables, and this one looks like he's grabbing about 4 ingots.
He's gone.
Abby's
gone.
So, goes ahead and grabs about 4 ingots, and continues to go ahead and grab those, and each one of them pulls this lever, and that little dropper opens and just lets 1 drop of lava fall onto it, and each time it hits it, it looks like this like spark happens on the spirit metal itself, almost as if it's like imbued with this this form of like aether energy. And as it hits it, it almost like makes it look like it's malleable, almost as if it's sort of like in the semi-mercurial state as the droplet hits it. And he does that for each one of them. I believe it's time to forge. He kind of like cracks his back and just goes ahead, and his fist glows as he just punches into the ground, and you watch everything come to life. All of the runes and inner workings throughout the whole groundwork all flare to life. And looks like he goes ahead and grabs the ingots, and he starts to hammer them, one of them individually. And with this one, it looks like he's dividing it up into different types of tools. Forging. Cools these off, and then grabs the other ingots and starts to create more tools. And it's seeming like there's a lot of very intricate tools that he's making from these ingots. Now, come here. He walks over to the table. Choose which one speaks to you. It is your own interpretation. Which one speaks to you?
Is there just like a basic hammer?
Oh no, he's like pointing to all of the ingots.
Oh shoot!
Mhm.
Wow. Back left corner.
Just grabs it. Choose another. This will take 3 ingots to create.
This one, middle right.
And one more.
Far right. Top.
He
Sorry.
like has to like suck in his gut as he goes between some of the tables and like go ahead.
Goes through this big open cavern to find
Oh my gosh. He needs a claw machine. Little, alright, pick your spirit metal.
This is a vending machine, A3.
Yeah. And then it like doesn't quite grab it. Oh man, I got
And as he goes down, it's just like
Yeah.
and it's like never mind.
Yeah, it's like
No. No.
Yeah.
It's made of wood.
The thing is actually too big to pick it up.
Yeah.
It physically can't
Yeah.
grab it. So then he's like, "You gotta put another quarter in." Oh man.
They're all upstairs.
Put in 1 electrum.
Yeah. This machine, this bad boy only runs on electrum.
It relies on cryptocurrency.
Yeah. Just you wait. It's gonna be big. It's
Pinmoller Industries.
gonna, yeah. It's gonna. Invest now.
So, goes ahead and chooses these ingots, or you choose the ingots and walks them over to the forge. And each one of them, he goes ahead and takes them and puts them into this basin, and ends up lowering it into what looks like a lava pool. And as it's melting in there, you just see bubbling of like metal, and you see like these little bits of like impurity starting to sink or rise up from the metal itself, as he just barehandedly scoops it away out of the lava and pulls the lever again, and the whole tray pops up again, and you just see melted spirit metal within there. Goes ahead and takes it, walks it over, puts it into place, and some of the implements that he was forging looks like different types of molds made out of spirit metal. Molds and fine tools and a few X-Acto knives. And it looks like he goes ahead and takes it and just starts to pour into some of these molds. And the mold itself for the actual base of the guitar is very reminiscent of like an electric guitar. It has like the 4-pronged points, and one of them being like a little bit extra long on the bottom. And as he has this and he's waiting for it to cool, he's starting to now create more of it. And as he's just creating the neck of it, carving this one almost like he like puts it in a mold and then starts to chip away and trim away and carve at it. And then he starts to make the strings. And these ones, it looks like he goes ahead and takes one of the pieces of spirit metal that he's melted out into like these like long strands, and ends up bringing them up against this axe-like blade as he just keeps slowly trimming each one into like this this like really long thin piece of metal. And it looks as though when he's working with his metal, you know spirit metal to be extremely tough, and it's almost as if he's working with like butter. It's just malleable in his hands, and the whole time you see on his back he has this very large tattoo of these two moons that are facing normally like this and a sun at the center, and as he's working they're in a rotation and they're locked in place now like this. All of his tattoos now are glowing all throughout his body as he's forging and continuing on to this. And every time he like works with something new, you see a part of the tattoos just kind of like flare up and glow every once in a while as he just continues to forge and shave away at this metal as if it's just another form of like butter. But he continues to create, refining those strings into very thin strings, each having their own tuning to them as well. Creates ridges into them as well to create a little bit of that flow, and starts to assemble it. And then in the assembly itself too, where the actual base of the guitar is, he starts to put in carvings, runic carvings. Do you speak Dwarvish?
No.
They are in Dwarven tongue. And it looks like he writes them along the actual like edge outline of the whole base of the guitar, and a little bit near where the strings are itself. And as he's carving it in and making like all these very fine, precise attunements to it, he just continues to carve and create more and more to it, until for a while later he asks for your help in the final touches. Go ahead and roll me a d20, please.
Just straight D20?
Yep.
8.
Okay. Get a little messy with it. It's
Yeah.
a little difficult. He goes ahead and just kind of grabs your hand as you're like about to like mess something up. Pour in some aether. This has to bond to yours specifically. Let's go of your hand. Focus.
I'm focusing, man.
All right. How are you focusing? What is your intention here?
I'm just, cause I feel like she's really just like almost stunned by how all of this works, that she's just kind of like she's just like focusing and just like hoping that she'll see like a physical sign that something is like has gone into it.
Okay.
Like she's just like looking at it and like trying to like center herself kind of, and just like, okay, something's gonna happen and it's gonna be amazing. I'm just gonna trust it. Like,
Okay.
It's gonna be the best thing that anybody has ever seen.
This will be okay. This will be fine. I'm
Yeah.
good. I got this. Okay. We're good.
This is fine.
I hope. I think we're good. Right?
probably.
Okay. As you are pouring into this and continuing to just create this effect, go ahead and roll me a d20.
Straight.
Yeah.
15.
Okay. With your aether bonus as well,
Alright.
as you're pouring into this, you're just focusing and just kind of like just holding out your hands, and you see this glow of this greenish energy start to just pour out from your hands, and almost like tendrils, as if like the strings themselves, like as he's tuning them, they like come undone and wrap around your hands, and it looks like they're siphoning off this green energy into the very strings of the guitar. And as you finish siphoning some more, you feel almost like you're being drained almost. It feels strenuous. You feel a little dehydrated, a little more tired almost.
You currently, yes,
Currently.
yeah.
Current Allison.
Yeah.
As it's just draining this green energy from you before you think, okay, this probably is going to get dangerous. They unfurl from your hands, and you see them start to just wrap back into place as he continues to tune it. Each individual one. As he goes ahead and picks it up, inspects each bit of it. Your work is complete.
Nails. Talents.
What do you take me for?
Just asking.
Hands this to you.
Yeah. He's like, come do this
It-
boss
it's-
section over here.
It looks like it would be heavy because every piece of it and component of it's made of metal, but it's actually kind of light. Lighter than you would expect. It's still not like,
It's not like, oh, this is a
Yeah.
balloon filled with helium.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
nothing like that. It has weight and like
balloon
little-
guitars.
It has weight and a bit of heft to it.
Yeah, but it's not like, oh, it should probably drag me to the ground. It's
Yeah.
not.
It's not like that. And you know the ingots themselves, when you were holding them, they were like maybe like 5 pounds each.
Mhm.
Um,
There were 3.
Hmm?
And there were 3.
yeah, and there were 3. This does seem lighter than 15 pounds.
Yeah, wonderful.
And then in like the remnants of the ingots that are remaining, he goes ahead and melts those down again, and starts to take measurements of your hands and your talons. And as he continues to create those measurements, he creates this this glove of latticework chains that kind of wrap around into a bracelet that chain outwards to cover each of your talons to be claw-like shapes. He only does it with one hand, though.
Okay.
This should help. After he forges it, and each one of the tiny little like chain rungs, you look closely, and it looks like there's little forged runes just embedded into each one of these little chain links. They're very small.
What do these mean?
They are words of protection. In my culture, my forge master was not dwarvish, but he was taught by the ancient giants long ago. He told me that his master taught him these ancient techniques, ones deriving from dwarven and giant magic. These runic workings are a work of mine. They are an improvement on my masters, and his before, and his before.
Well, it's phenomenal.
Of course it is. It is my work. So he goes ahead and, as he walks over, he goes ahead and touches the ground, and you see everything just kind of like cool down a little bit within the forge. Goes ahead and just kind of picks up his howry, puts it over his shoulders again before. I believe it's time to go. And you see all of his tattoos fade back again. He starts to just hobble down each step a little bit. He is an old ancient dwarf, and yet he's still kicking. But he ends up walking down, and he'll make you a leather strap for that as well.
Nice, thank you. I was going to ask.
You just gotta hold your guitar and hope for the best.
Yeah, you gotta
Sit
hold your
down
knee
and
up
play.
and just like
Give me a second,
Sorry
guys.
guys, let me get a bar stool out real fast. Hold on.
You guys get into
In
combat.
the
You're
middle
like,
of like an encounter, I'm like, does anyone have like a?
you're a combat. You're like,
Music
hold on, guys,
holder?
hold on.
Yeah.
Give me an A. A?
Yeah. Anyone have a D?
Are we wanting rock today, or are we wanting
What are we
like?
feeling?
What are we feeling?
Yeah, what's the vibe today, guys?
Help me!
I'll just figure something out. It's okay.
Jazz. We'll go jazz.
We're being murdered. Classic rock it is.
It's like, oh, what? It's nighttime there. I got it. I wanna.
No,
Yep.
no. Yeah, just enough to not get copyright strike.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Gotta sing off key, off rhythm.
I would like to roll and rock
Roll and rock
all evening,
all evening. Perhaps every day.
and perhaps have a wonderful festival.
Each and
Every night of each and every 24-hour
Oh,
period
that's my
within a
favorite
year.
jam. Give me an Electrum for the jukebox. I'm putting that song on.
Put a record on. I love this energy. I love this. This energy that we've created in the studio today, I love it.
I could not be happier with the energy in the studio
It
today.
needs a little more cowbell though.
Yeah. I got a fever.
Oh my gosh, a cowbell. No one, guys, you should have told me.
You should have been a cowbell. That would have been so
That would've been
funny.
hilarious.
Oh my gosh, we're fighting the
I'll help you guys.
Pull out your triangle.
against the final boss.
I imagine you're just like, okay, bing, and it.
Lightning arcs out from it.
They're like, I'm gonna make the aether explosion look like a tiny accident. Just a mushroom cloud.
It's the cut to like the whole country over.
Yeah. And then the wind hits.
That's how this campaign's gonna end.
Yep.
That's level 20.
Yeah.
I will
That's level
accidentally
That's
kill
more
her.
level 15.
With a cowbell.
With a cowbell.
Yeah, cross off your bingo cards at home now, everyone.
One of the players commits genocide.
With a cowbell specifically.
Pulls an apple.
We all thought it was gonna be cow.
Man, imagine that. Pulling just a power that is way too powerful for you to control in the middle of a populated area and accidentally killing innocents.
Nobody would do that.
Who
Nobody
would do that?
would do that.
Literally, who would do
I
that?
mean, hundreds of people, even
Whoever.
their closest friends, would die.
And children?
Yeah.
And
Like,
children.
And children who would just read this weird magic scroll.
Yeah, that they got from someone who is like, I don't know, like an evil wizard or something.
Wouldn't happen. Good thing it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Good thing.
That'd be terrible.
No.
Oops. Don't say oops.
Definitely not this campaign because spellcasters, we only really have one of them.
Well,
2 technically,
yeah.
3 technically.
4 or 5, maybe.
5, maybe.
Yeah, so
Everybody
we only have
technically.
one. Well, 2. Well,
Oh.
3.
Actually,
You
now that I think about
technically-
it, now that I
You're a
think about it.
spellcaster. You're definitely a
Yes,
spellcaster.
I am.
And you're just like, you're a kind of spellcaster.
You can be a spellcaster.
Yeah, I got
No. This energy today.
It's something
Welcome
else,
back,
guys.
Allison. Welcome
Good
back.
enough.
Yeah.
Thank you for your presence.
Thank you. I'm
Uh,
sorry I had to work.
How dare you? We missed months without you. How dare you?
Yeah.
Sorry. Months. As if I only did not only work the month of October.
Hey, no.
No,
You worked.
Yeah.
You worked a seasonal job that's appropriate for whatever season these episodes
Yeah.
are going up
Sometime.
during.
I worked a month.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You work during.
But no, we don't have a budget for that. We went over this.
Sorry.
We don't
Sorry.
have mocap.
We don't have no cap.
Or during
No. Yeah. Christmas.
it's like the TikTok voice thing where I worked during Christmas.
Yeah. It's St. Patrick's Day.
So as you finish
St.
your
Patty's Day.
as you finish your guitar, you end up walking out up the spiral staircase again, out of this area, and as you're kind of like walking, just admiring it, you look up and you do see that there's a drow kind of walking down the hallway towards you and just kind of looking at your guitar as you kind of like as he's like starting to like approach. You just see him just give you a look of like not disapproval but more just like, well, that's odd.
Does he get close enough to die?
Yeah. Yeah. Does he like he has a heart attack? He's like, yeah.
He just continues to walk and just kind of give you like a side eye as he just continues.
I'm walking by, but like I'm like,
Kids these days.
Judgy.
Yeah.
In the gardens. There is a little like patch area. What languages do you speak?
Deep speech, common, druidic, Loxodon.
You don't recognize this language. And it's a small little garden, and there's like a bunch of these like little stakes in the ground.
Mhm.
Looks like they're written in like colorful ink on these like little stakes that like are in like little rows that like indicate like what's growing here. And it's a small little like separation from that main garden area that you guys were in, the topiary garden. This is kind of like an offshoot of that. And it looks like it's his little garden.
Nice.
And he goes, okay, in this row right here, I just harvested it like a week ago, so the ground should still be good. So go ahead and just put whatever you want in this row, and I'll just, what was your name?
Da. Da's one Rin, but you can call me Da.
Okay, he picks up the wood piece and he says, okay, just starts to like wipe it off with his like spit.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, okay. Goes ahead and takes a little berry and like squishes it and starts to write it in like with his finger, like with the berry juice, and it just says like what you would assume is Dawes mushrooms, written in a language you don't know. And he goes ahead and puts it in a stake in the ground. Goes, grow.
Okay. So I will just put some spores of random mushrooms.
Okay.
I do have that crystal mushroom,
You do.
and I did kind of investigate them and study them a little bit. Am I able to create those?
I would say not. Make me a nature check actually. Hold on. Let's leave this up to a rollies.
Rollies. No. Oh.
7. Nature check. I'm pretty nature. 8.
That's your nature check. No.
Weird for a druid, isn't it? It should be a little
Yes.
bit higher than that.
It should.
It's intelligence based. So
Oh my
it
gosh.
needs intelligence.
Nature should be wisdom.
You should be wisdom.
That would make more sense.
So as you're combing through this, you end up planting what you're pretty sure that it's crystal.
Okay.
Crystal meth, but
Yeah, crystal. And then I do have
Yeah, just give a
A
child
variety
some crystal
that-
meth, see what they do.
that is used back home for kind of the vision bringing. So I will plant one of those, and I'll tell him these. You need to be really careful with these.
so should I cook them first?
So these ones don't cook.
Okay.
Dry them out
Oh, okay.
on leaves if you can. Just an ordinary leaf. I don't know what kind of.
We don't have sunlight here though.
Well, they'll dry in the heat. And the longer it takes to dry, the better the potency. And then once it is dry, then you can grind it up and put just a small bit into tea, hot water, whatever your flavored drink is. And just a smidget.
So like a whole mushroom.
Just no. Whole mushroom is probably good for the whole family if you're having a banquet and you want to have it, lively. You'll all experience a journey that'll get you closer with nature.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
You're giving him LSD.
No.
Okay, persuasion.
Prophecy.
I thought we left that.
I have a negative 1%, so that's 16.
Okay.
I don't think you needed to persuade him very much
Yeah.
to give his
Allison,
family
yeah,
drugs.
come on.
That is the highest persuasion roll you have rolled.
And
Yeah.
he
I
just goes,
think ever, yeah.
Just when I needed it too.
Yeah.
he's like, okay, how long will it take to grow?
And I just caused it to grow.
And-
So yeah, Drew crafted it to grow.
And they start to grow. Whoa. Why does this one look like a crystal?
Hey, that is a variety that looks like crystals. If you go through the Underdark and I point to the direction we came from, you will find all the vegetation looks like this.
I've never been out of or further up. I've been further below, but I've never been out of Flame Reach up that way, cause the Illithid.
It's dangerous. Very dangerous. We
Dangerous.
barely made it here, so it's a good idea to just stay here, live your life, enjoy the mushrooms. The rest of the variety could go on salad. You can cook it with meat. It's really.
What about the crystal one? Can I eat that one?
I don't know. I would.
Can you eat it?
Maybe try a little bit.
No, can you... Takes like a small one and just walks it over and hands it to you.
Sure.
You end up biting it and you're like...
Blood
It's-
just dripping out.
Yeah.
It's
the blood
not
mushrooms.
good. You're biting glass.
Yeah, probably not as much of the edible variety for us. Maybe some creatures would eat it, but
I'll give
They
it to
make-
Kala's Night Reaper.
they make great gifts. They're beautiful. You might be able to sell them. They look valuable.
Well, I don't really need money.
True.
True. You are the child of a king.
Having-
You are.
If you have a special lady in mind, this would
Why?
be a great gift. She would really like this. Maybe make it into a necklace.
No.
No?
No.
No, you're not. Don't have anybody special in mind then. Someday,
I can
especially
give it to
after
my mom.
this other mushroom
I can give it to my mom.
you can give it to your mom. She would love this.
I can make a necklace for her. I want to make her a necklace of all the mushrooms.
And if you put some dried macaroni noodles on it,
What's that?
oh, they're delicious. A little elbow looking.
A little different color in it.
Yes. Actually, some of the stalks of these mushrooms, you might be able to thread that onto some kind of leather strap or something and make a necklace. It'd be quite stunning.
Should I use these ones and points to the magic ones?
Those are better for special occasions,
Okay.
prepared in the way that I said. If you eat them before you cook them, just let you know, you will get sick. You probably won't die. How old are you?
How much do you weigh? That's so much worse than how old are you? That is so much worse than how old are you? How much do you weigh? No.
He just goes, I'm 27.
So you'll
He's a baby.
it'll make you very sick for several days. So be careful with it.
Okay. So I dry it out.
Try it out.
Okay. And then
I'd
I-
give it a good week. Just let it dry for about a week.
okay. I could probably ask Uncle Magnus to make me something for that.
You might be able to, make you some implements for it.
Yeah. Okay. And you just see this big grin happen on his face of just like he's so excited. I don't think he probably doesn't understand what's going on really,
Mhm.
but now he just looks like I now have a mission. I now have something to do.
And just be respectful to nature, and nature will respect
okay.
you. So take care of this garden. It should
I'm
continue
nice
to
to
grow.
the Night Reaper, but he always tries to bite me.
Well, he's
I have to carry this dagger around now right here, and he
To
like
him-
points to his chest, and there's like a dagger like affixed to like his like leather like vest, and there's like a little dagger attached right there, and he goes, because he always just tries to eat me whole, so if I have it like in my boot or like on my side, that I can't get to that because of the teeth, so I have to keep it right here so I can just stab his tongue.
Well, for him, it would be respectful to offer yourself as a meal. For you, that's not that great of an idea. So,
No.
So good idea to keep the knife around. Nature's not always kind, but it will respect you.
I
If
haven't
you were
developed
to
any.
eat you would become power for it and energy.
That sounds scary.
It wouldn't end well for you, but respect nature.
Okay,
Maybe feed it some food.
I'll feed it some
That's not you.
mushrooms.
Feed it some mushrooms. Might like that.
I'll get started on these ones right away. And he's just like, wow. And he goes ahead and like he has like this little like tackle box that's there like at like the area, and he like opens it up, and it's like the different shelves that open up,
Yeah.
and you do see that there is like dwarven runes like carved into it. It looks like Magnus does favor this kid and build him some stuff.
Yeah, cool.
And it looks like there's just like a bunch of different like tools in there. Grabs a magnifying glass and starts to look at the mushrooms like real up close. Grabs a little sketchbook from there and starts to try to sketch them. Like this little kid's curious.
Yeah.
So I assume you end up heading back to your room, or do you just hang out with him in the garden?
No, I would hang out. I'd leave him to his toys.
Make a perception check.
52. Let me perception.
Yes.
That would be a 23.
Ooh.
23. As you're like
Rolling good today.
as you're like talking to him and like everything, something feels off. And as you kind of like get up and like he's like sketching it, just kind of look kind of to your side, and you just see kind of hiding in the shadows. It looks like somebody who's in like the same like servant attire, just watching you, hand on the hilt of their blade, just watching from like behind like one of these like topiaries, just waiting for you to make a misstep.
And so as I walk out, the mushrooms that are still growing in his garden,
Mm-hmm.
I would just cause them to glow, and I would just keep walking out.
Whoa! And he's enjoying every bit of this. And as he like exclaims, you do see like kind of like leans forward a little bit, like the guard, like, should I engage? And realizes no, it's okay, and kind of like leans back into the shadows a little bit more. Yeah, it's a good time. The poor kid. The poor Mastara
He's gonna
family.
have a good time. He's gonna have a
Oh yeah, this is wonderful. I cannot wait for us to get like some sort of update from like Amanda or Kella later, and they're just like, "What have you done?"
We brought down the kingdom.
Started revolutions.
Uh-huh.
They're all hippies now.
Yeah, peace not war, peace not war.
Yeah.
And
No.
then Kelly got married overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all
Well,
There's
tripped
like,
up.
what happened?
yeah. They wake up with like the mushroom dried on
Yeah.
their face. They're like, "What?"
Some powder on the nose.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Extra
Oh
mushroom.
no.
Kella's like, oh, I slept good tonight, and rolls over. Why are you in my bed?
Yeah, why do we have matching tattoos?
Magnus, why are you in my bed?
The whole kingdom's in the one night.
Everybody's in just like the king size bed.
It's fit for a king.
Mm-hmm. It's fit for a king. It's fit for a kingdom.
But it's a big circle bed. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's a heart shaped
It's
bed.
It's a circle bed. It's actually the whole room is a bed. It's
Yeah.
in a same time
But it's in
itself.
one of those rooms where it has like that conversation pit. You have to walk
Oh,
out.
yes, the conversation fits so much better. Oh my gosh.
Giant conversation.
Hit bed with a whole kingdom asleep in it. All of the matching tattoos with Kella.
Conversation Pit is a good band name.
Jonah, I just need you to know that elves mature at the same rate as humans. So
Do they?
We've been laughing at that, by the way.
30-year-old going, woo.
My apologies.
My apologies.
He is not 30 something. He's not 37.
You said he's 27.
He is not 27.
He's 7?
More like 12.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, the age of an actual middle schooler, like you said
Yes.
earlier.
Exactly. So, you guys end up, Vela, you're the first, actually. You hear, just a knock on your door.
Yes?
May I enter?
Yes?
The door swings open and you see the king standing there.
Oh, hi.
Hello. Would you like to see the cedars now?
Yeah.
See the cedars.
Of course. Please
Want to see
bring your
the
spirit
cedars.
metal as well.
Sear the
Oh, okay. It's already on.
Okay.
So,
Follow me, please. And he continues to walk, and you notice behind him is the staff, that golden staff that still flows behind him, is just kind of floating next to him still. Seems to always kind of be in his presence, and you're getting a better look at him now that he's like standing, and you do see he has this this regal kind of cape almost that attaches to like kind of like an informal like piece of like armor almost. Like it's just for kind of like show almost, but it does look like it has some functionality. Basically just like a breastplate with these like little not latches, like different little pieces that hold the cape together to the armor. And the cape itself is this like beautiful like purple and blue kind of flow of colors to it, almost like kind of like a tie-dye kind of just like this like weird like smattering of colors all throughout it. And you see a symbol on the back of it, and the symbol itself looks like an eye that is like just shaped kind of like this, and then on the sides of it you see what looks like another larger circle in the very like surrounding the whole thing. And he just continues to walk with you, or walk in front of you with the cane and the staff flowing with him. Descends down the stairs and walks you to this this part of the castle that it looks almost like a cathedral-like temple with these very large spires. Walks up to the doors and just whisks his hand forward, and the doors open. He just continues to walk inside. As you're walking in, it's dark in here, and he just snaps his fingers, and you watch all the flame wicks in here ignite. Follow me. They might be resting right now, but your matter takes precedence.
Oh, okay.
Goes ahead and walks over to this this big chamber. He has to open up another door, but at the end of this long hallway that leads to other hallways as well. But in this very center, there's a very, very large chamber that looks like an observatory of sorts. Which is weird that there's an observatory underground. But you see at the very top is this enormous lattice work of all kinds of different circular shapes that are all interlocking. And right now it looks like it's just one big disc with a bunch of rings kind of flushed up against each other. At the very center is this golden orb. And all the rings themselves are made of that golden material as well. There are other implements kind of just like hanging and just kind of floating throughout this area, just very slightly drifting. He walks within, and you look at the floor, has this enormous carving onto the bottom of it, and it looks like a spiral shape of what looks like 3 different spiral points connecting to one circle at the very center. And all throughout this, it looks like there's a bunch of runic markings. Do you speak Undercommon?
No.
Then you do not understand the language.
That's okay.
And you see across the walls on all sides are beautiful mosaics. Make a history check.
Natural 20 for a 26.
Ooh, we're gonna get all the tea right now.
Yep.
Looking at these murals, it looks like it's like the budding of like right before a sunrise. You see the murals themselves look like they're like that very, very faint blue coloration. You see that there's these like mountain ranges that are depicted in these murals, and you just see light emanating from one of them a little bit brighter than another. And it looks like these murals themselves, it looks like they almost kind of like shift just very slightly. And looking at these murals, or looking around at these, and you notice on one part there's, on one side of the room, you see there is this enormous looking structure one that is, it's kind of like a big crescent U shape that curves into points. And at the very center of it is this glowing, like greenish blue circle in the center of it. Another ring in the center of it that's emitting light all on the inner part of the ring and almost has like this coloration between it. And that one looks like it's glowing and shifting in color. Almost as if this mosaic patterning on these walls is active and actively displaying something. You look over, you see another one that looks like another crescent shape that ascends upwards into 2 points. And at the very center of it has this energy in the center of it as well. And you see on the other side is a large stone cube that just kind of is like floating and slowly just spinning. And then over on the other end, you see what looks like a very, very large singular disc. And on the disc, you see there's a lot of scrawling and patterning on this. But there's 4 objects within this room. You recognize 2 of them. The cube and the one that is the 2 arcs that descend up. These are the structures that you recognized in Twilis.
Oh,
Oh.
the giant structures.
Yes.
The elongated ones?
It's all coming together.
Damn
Oh, man, so sad Augustus isn't here right now. Try and bleed on it.
Bleed on me.
No.
But you look, and these structures that are here, they're there's 2 of them that you don't recognize, which is strange. You've never even really heard of anything like this, except there was one time you remember your family, you ventured to the capital a long time ago when you were a kid.
Oh wow.
You're trying to remember, where was this? And you just keep looking at the structure that is the crescent, the U shape with the points down and this ring in the center of it. Just kind of look at that. Like that, I recognize that from somewhere. You look a little closer, and with your natural 20, you realize that's the symbol for the city of Vera. The capital city of Windera.
Huh.
I mean, there's more to the symbol, but that's the core of the marking.
We all casually look at the map.
Really for this.
Yeah, I'm like,
Oh, that place.
little pictures. There it is. I see it.
It's also on the Discord.
Spelled it very wrong on my notes, but that's okay.
Is it on the Discord for everyone?
Yep.
Like,
Well, like,
Yeah, it's under
Not
quest
us.
board.
oh, cool.
well, I think under quest board is in a different.
Oh,
That's not in like the Dungeons and Shenanigans one, is it?
No.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So everyone at home, we may post it in the Discord that you should join. Link is in our bio. Everyone,
Yeah, we make some
take
pretty
this
sick
moment.
memes.
This is the dedicated time in the episode. Go follow our TikTok.
You have
Go
to
follow join our Discord.
You have to win the meme of the
Oh,
week
don't.
to be in the private chat that
Oh,
has the
yeah.
map.
Yeah. Yeah, so make us a meme and maybe you'll see the map. Along with the bingo
You have to
cards
beat
that
me
you
in
should
a meme
have.
contest.
Yeah. We should.
I make the worst memes.
The worst memes make the best memes, though.
That's true.
Yes, they are, as the kids say, dank.
Yeah.
They do be sane.
They say
Dang.
that. They do say that. I can attest to that.
Yeah.
Brooke knows.
Abram, our resident kid.
Yes.
Do they say
Let me ask my 27-year-old teenager.
Yeah. Who speaks like a toddler. Child.
Oh, hi.
So unsettling. Father.
Father, help.
It's just the baby in the Shrek nightmare. He's all ta-ta.
Yes. Oh my gosh. You're so right.
So,
Say fun.
so that is the symbol that you see within this lattice work of murals. It's
This is wild.
oddly familiar.
Spell fit. Oh wow, I spelled really wrong. There we go. Interesting. I'm sure it's irrelevant.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nothing is ever connected here, actually.
No.
Nope.
We don't connect things here.
No, we don't do that here.
Never.
If you're
We've
looking
never had
for a
things
connected
connected by
story,
the vet, like Desir.
no. Loose ends who? What?
Who?
No, we
We
gotta
don't.
change
We're
that.
not saying so Desir. We're saying no Desir.
Yeah, no,
We're saying
dear. We took care of him.
Sartarask. That's what we
So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we
it's
took
your
care of
ass.
him. He doesn't
That's
exist in this world
dead
anymore.
because we take care of everything. No loose ends
We-
ever.
We take care of everything
We
unless
didn't
it's
go-
a giant railgun cannon. Then we don't take care of it. But
Yeah,
everything else
hey.
we do
Hey, hey.
is for horses.
That's and cow.
I didn't miss though.
Maybe you did. Maybe you made me miss.
I gave you a +10.
I know you did. And I rolled so bad. I rolled so bad. I cry about it every time. And I would like to stop bringing up this tragic moment, please.
Okay.
Where my fantasy became a nightmare. You think you can play D&D to escape the harsh realities of life? No.
It's
You
worth it.
still
Not with
fail.
friends.
Not with friends. You still fail, and then you get made fun of
When friends help you,
Every
and
week.
you don't take it.
every week. I did take it, and it just didn't work out.
Somewhere deep in my heart.
No.
So you guys are now within this big chamber, and you just hear him go, "Hello? Anyone home?" And you see one of the murals kind of like operate and like change colors almost, like they're flipping sides, and it appears into this door, and it opens. And you see walking out is this old drow. Kind of walks out. He's got this very large braided, like, not really a beard, really. It's kind of just like almost like mutton chops that are like just like braided and go down to either side. And then his hair is kind of pulled back into these very thick braids. He just kind of walks out. "Oh, hello, our king. How may I help you today?" This is one of our guests. Her name is Vela. She is experiencing weird aether interactions. She wishes to have a seer look upon her. Would you be willing to do this? I need some rest, but I can have one of my apprentices handle this. Of course. Thank you, Seer Supreme. Well, hold on, I guess. Would you like me to retrieve him? You're our king. I will get him. And he just like starts to walk out, and then you watch that door close, and then the panels themselves shift again to just make it look like the mountainside once again. And as you're in here, you're starting to see that glow of the sunrise just very, very slowly start to creep up. The light kind of getting a little brighter in this chamber. A few minutes pass, and he's just kind of standing there with you, just looking around at these beautiful mosaic patterns. the door appears again and opens up. And you see it's a dark gnome walks through. And he goes, hi. I was told you needed a seer. And you look over and you see he's got this this necklace pendant on. Make a religion check.
1 d20 flew behind me onto the floor. The other one, I completely missed the dice box. 15.
15. You would know a bit about the gods and a little bit of the pantheon from your parents, and from like your mother's stories. This is a pendant of the Spider Queen Lolth, which you know is one of the betrayer gods. And you look at him, and you look at the pendant, and then you look back at him, and he's just this little scrawny gnome. He's got these like circular framed glasses that he kind of wears at the end of his nose, but he has that pendant hanging from his neck, and he just goes, "Hi, you need a seer?"
Yeah.
Who am I helping? He goes, "Hello, this is Vela. She is in need of a seer. She is having strange visions of her aether and wishes to interact." Oh, of course. Yeah, I can get a ritual started right now. Could you please step back, Your Majesty? Of course, I'll leave you to it. And he starts to walk back, and then you see a door appear, and he just walks through it, and then fades away again. All right. Give me a second here. All right. And he just kind of rubs his hands and his eyes open. And as his eyes open, there's this astral depth of space within his eyes that just continues to infinity. He goes ahead and just waves his hand, and you watch the sun that's like slowly starting to creep up fades. That mosaic, beautiful pattern of everything fades until it's just this astral working starscape. You see he goes ahead and moves his hand up and pulls down, and you watch those lattice work of rings start to free flow independently and start to spin. And as they spin, it seems as though the rotation is continuing a bit faster and faster until it's created almost a small wind current within this place. You see the little golden implements that are floating around are now starting to float, not as free-flowing, but more float within purpose within this spinning circle. And as you're kind of like looking around, waiting for something to happen, he goes ahead and raises his hand once again, and the very center of this place, you watch almost like the stonework just create what looks like a like this altar-like structure with the center of it is just a core, and you see on the other side is 2 chairs. Please sit in one of these. He sits in the other and sits across from you, and all that's there is this circular window between the two of you, in between this altar. And the altar itself looks like a petrified tree that all the branches have like broken off, and it's just like the beginning formation of branching off before it's sheared away. But it's all made out of stone and runic like carvings within it. But there's that circular center on it. And his eyes still with that astral glow. Place your hands through it. He pulls out his hands in the center of this altar. Goes ahead and rests his hands on top of your hands. Just closes his eyes and focuses. Go ahead and roll me a d20 for me.
9.
9?
So
9.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
And the Tarrasque pops out from under the ground.
Tara,
Is
roll.
it- No, absolutely not. Never again am I rolling for an encounter, guys.
I found the
Sweet.
D20 guys way across my room.
Is it actually?
Yeah, it's by my scooter.
Which
By
one
the
is
door.
it? What's the design?
Oh, I go get it.
Oh, okay. You go get it.
As you are now sitting within here, everything around you is like starting to shift and change. You close your eyes as well. Open your eyes. You both open your eyes at the same time, and you're no longer in this room. Everything around you, the floor, everything around you, all you are on now is this floating rock within the astral sea. The floating rock has the chairs and the altar. That is all. And you are floating within the astral sea. You see the beautiful starscapes, these astral clouds of dust within space itself. You see the stars glinting and sparkling all throughout. He releases his hands from yours, waves his hand in front of this circle in a circular formation, and you watch as it creates that same like barrier of like astral mist in between it, to where it almost obscures his face slightly. What do you wish to know?
I just want to know why my aether is corrupted and what the 22 is.
Very well. Closes his eyes once again, and you watch everything within this chamber rocket as you see stars flying past you at incomprehensible speeds before appearing once again. And everything in here almost has like a magnified effect, as if you're just right there in the thick of the situation, but it's like all kind of zoomed in around you. And you just see dangling strings.
No, not again. No. Gross.
And you look over and you see a performance. A stage of jeering and cheering audience members. And you're within the audience, kind of floating above it. And the image kind of zooms in a little bit almost onto this stage of what looks like humanoids. People that look like, some of them look human, some of them look like satyrs, some of them look like Eladrin. It's a weird smattering of different creatures, but they all look fey in nature, majority at least. And you just see these very large strands sticking out, and the camera kind of pans up, and you just see these long, darkened fingers just holding on to each one of these strings, just occasionally plucking at one of them, just moving. And you see each finger almost looks like it has like 10 strands coming from each finger. As she's just slowly just moving her fingers across, occasionally moving her fingers to like pluck at a few of them, almost like she's playing the harp. You sense the presence of Endolin. And you see one of the actors on this stage, and it's a beautiful melodrama. You see it's a fight between two characters fighting with swords in total chaos, and it looks as though they're fighting for one of the ones that they love. They're fighting over the love of a woman. And one of them smacks the sword out of their hand and it flies before. And you watch the puppet that has no sword anymore fall to the ground. And as it falls to the ground, she pushes down, shoving this one to the ground bringing her other finger around with the sword, and plunging it deep in. And as she plunges it deep in, you see she grabs her fingers and just goes, and you watch the strings disappear. As they gain full control again, start screaming out, and you watch as the one who stabbed the other starts crying out, calling for his brother, saying, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." Just holding him, trying to sustain the wound, looking around, calling out for help, anyone to heal. You just hear a crowd of laughter, of cheers. And you see the visage of Endolin in the moonlight smile through the veil as her face creeps back within the shadow. And as you're watching this whole zoomed in formation, it pulls back once again. And you rocket across once again until you would appear in a small chamber. Looks like just a simple room. Nothing of unusual note, but it looks as though this is a living quarters. You see that there are kind of posters and paintings kind of up onto the walls. Some of them look like they are help wanted kind of posters that have just been kind of taken and put on the wall. And these look like somebody's living situation. Give me a second here.
He's busting up
Wow.
the notes, everybody. He's flipping
Oh,
through
no.
so many pages. Abby, get ready to write this
No.
down.
Gosh dang it, I need to switch to a smaller notebook. This binder's too big.
Oh, no.
It's so inconvenient.
I'll buy you a notebook when you're in person. Hey, is that enticing?
I
You
think
want to
that's
come
nice.
over here now?
Yes, I want the notebook. Look at this pretty one I got that a student painted.
Oh, that is so pretty.
As you're
It's
sitting,
so cute.
as you're in here, and you just see the vision, you see Cecil just sitting on the bed, his eyes closed, and his hands just kind of out, just facing upwards, and you see that gesture tattoo that he has on his wrist is glowing.
Terrible.
And as you're watching, you're looking at that, you look at your own wrist and you see it starts to glow.
Gosh dang.
And the vision outside kind of like flickers, and you see that fog like mirror
Oh,
in
no.
between the two of you. You see he's opened his eyes and he's now looking at you through the fog. Not Cecil, the seer, is looking through
Hi.
this fog like mirror that's in the center of this altar, and is looking at you with a kind of quizzical look.
What are you doing?
This is not my doing. And he's looking around now at the static starting to like.
Oh, not again.
He's just kind of looking around. And you see Cecil open his eyes. The tattoo fades. And you hear a coming. Gets up, walks over to the door and opens the door. You see Rayleigh Ashborough. And you just hear Cecil go, "Hello, old friend. Come in, please." And as he walks in, you just see Rayleigh just kind of have this face of just acceptance. As you see, he's just walking in and just stops and looks up in the direction of this viewing point. Before the connection fades and static is happening. But you look over at the seer and you watch the seer. His eyes are just wide, and you just see blood starting to pour out from his eyes
No.
as he's just. And you watch everything around you. That static is starting to like shift and flicker. Make a perception check.
Oh no! I gotta add some. Gosh, that flew. Freaking out. 17.
17. In this static, you just see eyes. Millions of eyes of different proportions and shapes. Just starting to like, in the static, just cover every perceivable viewpoint in your perception. Just like your passive perception, you just see all of it all throughout. Anywhere you look, you're trying to avoid it. You look at the altar now has eyes. You look over at him, you see eyes appearing on his face and just starting to grow more and more. And you look around, you look at your hands, and you see eyes starting to appear on them. You're looking around, and you look up, directly up, and you just see an enormous eye, singular. And as that one appears, every other eye vanishes. In this eye, it is a deep, deep void of incomprehensible darkness, depth, and despair, staring and bearing down on the both of you. Just a singular eye. Seems as though it's thousands of miles away and yet inches from you at the same time. The enormity of this is so incomprehensible to grasp the true size and distance that this thing carries. As it just stares back at you, you just feel this burning sensation where the star tattoo is. As the eye continues to just open, and you just watch as it closes.
I hate all of that so much, actually.
Me too.
That's
That's
disgusting.
that
Disgusting.
that void-like space that the eyes were just in shatters like a broken mirror before you are pushed out from your seat, and you just watch as he falls down onto the ground, the seer, and is convulsing. You see blood pouring out of every orifice. You see that altar that was there is now cracked.
Good thing I was just an apprentice.
But you see the altar itself is cracked into the shape of an eye
Oh,
that's
no.
staring back at you in this cracked formation.
I hate that so much, actually.
As you see, he's just on the ground convulsing.
She's just gonna be like, help! We need help.
Oh, put him on his
Please.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah, put him on his side. Quick, quick, quick.
I can't do it because I'm recovering from illness, but she's like screaming out at the top of her lungs.
You
And yeah,
You
she's
put him
gonna
on
move
his
him.
side, and as you're inspecting him, he doesn't have any limbs.
Oh, even worse. Gross, gross.
Wait, he doesn't have limbs or
Limbs.
It's just a flesh wound.
where'd they go?
His limbs are missing, and all that's left is just blood peeking out from where they would be attached.
Do you think Augustus took him?
And you look,
I knew it.
and as you're like looking at this,
I knew
you
you
look
did.
at his forehead, and you see etched in to the forehead, into the very skin, is the formation of an eye.
Oh, disgusting. Oh my gosh.
And you just watch as he just continues to convulse before he just stops moving.
Vela, you're gonna be tried for murder if you don't get someone in there
I've
immediately.
been screaming for help.
Clean it up.
You have been
first,
screaming for
buddy.
help, and you watch one of the mosaic, or a few of the mosaics shift back, and you watch and you look at the mosaic patterning on the wall. Some of it is cracked. There is like the rings themselves look like they're just, a few of them have like large fissures through them as well. he gazed upon something deeper than he knew.
Grace.
And as you're just watching this whole thing, you don't know what to do. Some of the doors of the mosaics shatter and open up, and you watch a few of the seers run in. Some of them look like they are like more of a cleric, and they start to try to tend to wounds and do everything they can in this exact moment of chaos, of this panic. And as you're focusing on this and like looking at all of this just carnage, you feel something gazing at you.
Ooh, run. Gross.
You slowly look down at your wrist and you just feel like something is staring back at you through the star. And so we're gonna pick up next session.
No! Oh my gosh, I'm gonna throw up off camera. Wow. Oh man. It's not even happening to my characters.
Oh no.
We get to train next session, guys!
Yay!
Train Spirit Metal! Yay! Woo! Everybody got Spirit Metal now! You got a
Guess
guitar!
we don't get to use the
You got a
singers now.
guitar!
My dad's gonna be so proud of me.
Thank you guys for watching. And let's continue more of this chaos next week.
Bye.
Bye!